everybody. So here is how I make my abrasive paste using the double broiler method. It's a sauce pot with water, not filled all the way, just enough to where you get a boil or steam going on, so a couple inches of water in the bottom, and a stainless steel bowl sitting on top. You can also use a mason jar inside of the pot of water as well. It will work just as good. You just don't want to burn or put any oil and waxes on direct heat because you don't want to burn it, scorch it, and also cause a fire. That being said, I have to remind you that if you are doing this, make sure you use all safety precautions, including having a fire extinguisher nearby. Remember, water will not help you in a oil or grease fire. The best thing to use is either a fire extinguisher that has the powder or baking soda. I always keep a canister of baking soda next to my stove in case a grease fire happens. I can ensure to put it out, mostly because I set things on fire in my oven and it helps put it out in my oven. Anyways, so as you can see, I used 4 ounces of beeswax, 16 ounces of mineral oil, and 4 ounces of the pumice that I'm using for this particular recipe. You want to mix it just long enough to where the beeswax and the mineral oil are cooled off to help stabilize the pumice in the mix, and it doesn't sink all the way down to the bottom. It doesn't take too long. You can actually get another bowl of ice and then set this bowl inside of the other bowl with ice to help cool it down a little quicker. But it didn't take too long, and I'm like one of the most impatient people I know, and it didn't take too long for me to do that. This is easy cleanup too, compared doing it to a blender, unless you purchase a used blender and use it just specifically for making abrasive paste. That's just fine. But the stainless steel bowl, it's very easy to clean the wax out. I just dumped the hot boiling water that I just used from my double broiler into the bowl, and I use that to clean it. So those are some tips there too. This second batch, I decided to make a little less than, because I already had made a fine abrasive paste batch prior to this. So that's why I'm mixing it at smaller quantities, plus to show you that how the ratios work for this mixture. I went off of my original DIY abrasive paste that I posted about a year ago, where I used my blender instead of doing the double broiler method. This also doesn't take long to heat up doing the double broiler method, so just depending on what works best for you will work fine, whether you do the blender or this double broiler method. And again, this mix, I'm doing the super fine in a smaller batch because I already had made some prior to this. The whisk really helps in breaking up the those super fine powder, because it tends to want to clump together. So just keep mixing until, or every once in a while, just to keep the abrasive suspended in the mixture. And then once it cools down to where it's like texture of icing, I guess, then you can put it in your container, and it will help keep the abrasive, suspended, so it doesn't just sink to the bottom. And then I just put these in the refrigerator to get them completely cooled really good before I take them out to the shop. I'm going to test out the differences between the medium, the superfine, adding the superfine and medium together, and then my unicorn paste. So stay tuned for those results. If you're not interested in those results, and you're not interested in hearing a bunch of chitty chat blah blah, at the end of this portion where I finish this is the abrasive paste making part, and then I will show you my comparison, and then at the very end I'm going to talk a lot more. So those of you who do not like the chit chat, you can end it here and you have all the information you need. I appreciate you watching and sticking with me though. So stay tuned to the end to hear some more information about each individual ingredient and what I determined that I'm going to use for my permanent abrasive paste, so you can choose for yourself which one might be best for you. Again, I am only comparing my own DIY abrasive paste with my own DIY abrasive paste. So I'm not trying to be completely crazy technical. This is just for my reference more than anything, to see if there really is a big difference in making different grits, adding the grits together, or the texture of the paste period. So it's just kind of my way of saying, all right, well, I can add more beeswax, less oil, to alter it, to make it my own paste. The only regret is I made these grooves to separate these pieces a little too deep, and all the wax got stuck in there. So it was very much a pain in the butt. I had to try to continually clean those out, and towards the end I just started having to wipe it all back down with denatured alcohol, which is fine because then it takes that wax layer off to where you can really see better how the abrasive paste worked, because the wax isn't filling in those scratches. So it kind of really revealed better, to me in my opinion, how well the abrasive paste worked for each individual paste. Howdy everybody. So you just watched how I made two different types of abrasive paste and my comparison with my own abrasive paste, your DIY. Now this was towards the headstock of the lathe. This was the medium. This was the super fine. This was both of them mixed together, and this was the unicorn paste. I'm going to start with the unicorn paste because that's just called unicorn paste. Doug and Jen, Doug from Pole Barn and Jen from Jen's Wood Turnings and Things, has labeled it a unicorn paste because I made it after I made my very last abrasive paste video, and I kind of experimented with the mixture of abrasive after I made that video, and I did not write down the ratios. Well, Jen used it in a comparison video, and it did well, a lot better than what I knew it did, because I did not, I didn't compare. any of my abrasive paste to any other product or even my own different mixtures. It's something I really didn't think about. I just figured it worked for me. So it didn't matter what anybody else was doing. It didn't matter what other products did, because it worked for me. And that's number one, what I love about DIY abrasive paste, because you can experiment with it and alter it to your liking, what it is that you're working on according to what type of projects you have going, whether it's resin, wood, or just all wood, or, you know, you do a lot of resin work. So you can play with it there. So that's why I call it unicorn paste. To be honest, I thought that the unicorn paste would blow all of these out of the water. But in the end, I can't tell the difference, and you won't be able to either. I mean, this thing's been pulled at, I've had it on my desk for about a week, and of course everybody's touched it and it's all there, so it's hard to see, but you can tell that it's been pulled at. Anyways, nothing in my house is safe. I cannot tell the difference between any of them. And I couldn't tell the difference between any of them when they were on the lathe prior to putting the OB or the Frenchies, or OB Shine Juice if you prefer to use that instead. So what I've decided to do is take the medium and the fine and add them together, and that's just going to be my abrasive paste, because why not do 2 grits in one and get that over with in one step? You do what you feel you want to do, but there are different abrasions out there that you can purchase, from diatomaceous earth to rotten stone. This particular video, I use Pumice. Pumice is a dental pumice that you use for your teeth. They use that for when they're cleaning and polishing your teeth at the dentist office. And a lot of people actually make their own homemade toothpaste out of it that they'll use once or twice a week, depending on when needed. And they use it to make their own toothpaste. So to say that it's food safe, yes, I wouldn't sit there and eat it, but it can be put in your mouth and there's no harm done. It is just ground up pumice stone. The first abrasive that I made in the video is made with this brand here. You can also get a medium grade in the dental pumice package if you prefer. This is a medium. It's made by Dharma. You can go on Amazon or Dharma's website and purchase it directly from them. I'll put in the links to where I got my stuff from. I shopped around, found the best price. That's where I ordered it. So this is the 2F. I'm assuming that means FF. I'm not sure, but it's 2F grade. It's considered a medium. That was the first abrasive that I made in the first container. And the second container was the triple F, or FFF, super fine pumice. And you can tell the difference when you feel them. So that takes care of the abrasive part of the abrasive paste, what makes the paste part abrasive. I'm going to move on to the, and I'm covering these things because there's some misconceptions, and I really want to encourage y'all to not just take everybody's word for it or anybody's word for it. Go online, do your own research. It's great whenever you can read this stuff for yourself, find out for yourself. That way you have the confidence that what you're putting in your own DIY products is safe, and each product that you use can stand behind their own products, yada, yada, yada. Just a safety disclaimer, whatever. I use, this is pharmaceutical grade mineral oil because it is sold in the pharmacy. It is used for a laxative. So if you eaten too much cheese, there you go. Don't ask me how I know. You can also purchase a thinner kind of mineral oil from Tractor Supply. They have it for animals. I don't know the difference between them. That's something you'd have to look into yourself. And like I said, just make sure that it's the product alone is food safe, and they can stand behind that. If you're not sure, because this doesn't say food safe anywhere on it, then call them, pick up a phone and say, hey, can you send me over a statement, email me a statement, whatever, saying that this is food safe. You can probably even get like details on how much is too much. Whatever makes you feel confident in using it, do it. Don't disregard it just because you don't know. That information is easily found out about. So on to the third ingredient, beeswax. Very dear friend of mine, John, thank you very much. I just got off the phone with him and kind of did a little interview. He keeps bees. He's also a wood turner. And he gives me these beeswax bars. beautiful beeswax bars. These are processed. That means that all of the dead bees and their legs and all the other dirt and things like that, the beeswax has been heated up and then filtered several times until they call it a clarity. They get a clarity out of it, and that just means all the junk is taken out of it. And then it just hardens into little molds or what have you. If you Google whether beeswax is organic, you will get some mixed information. And I'm not saying that Google gets everything right all the time anyway. He said that in order to have beeswax certified organic would be absolutely impossible, because when they go and forage and they go and eat, there's no way of controlling what it is that they eat. If you go to Dunkin' Donuts, where they dump their boxes of old donuts and the syrups and things like that in the dumpster, you'll open that thing up and there'll be bees like crazy in there. So I'm pretty sure Dunkin' Donuts can't say that everything they use is organic. So to label beeswax organic, even if it's 100% beeswax organic, is pretty much impossible. Organic is pretty much labeled no pesticide free, you know, chemical free, yada yada yada. So you can't control the bees and where it is that they're going to eat, what they're going to eat, where they're getting it. You know, they could be eaten, like I said, out of a Dunkin' Donuts dumpster, and there's no way to certify it organic because of that reason. It's 100% beeswax, period. Is it 100% beeswax? Good. Then it's pure beeswax. If it is mixed with paraffins or any other kind of wax, then obviously it is not 100% beeswax. So therefore, use caution, use some researching, you know, whatever. Take responsibility for what it is that you're using by researching it out. Like I said, I've had this 3-pound bag for a very long time. Got it off Amazon. I think it was around 20 bucks. If you contact a local beekeeper, you may be able to get some raw, not processed wax, and you would just have to heat it up yourself and filter it. But if you're getting it for free, that might be very much worth the effort. The yellow, there's online, you can either buy yellow or white. To me, it doesn't matter. The yellow or white is only because of what the bees are eating and whatever's in season. That's the difference in the color. It's always best to go to those who know, who deal with it. And thank you, John. I appreciate you spending your time with me this afternoon on the phone and getting that information. So again, beeswax cannot technically be organic unless the bees are controlled as far as what they eat. So 100% beeswax is what you're looking for, and you're in the right direction. Don't worry. That being said, what I'm going to end up doing, and I already have, is I took my medium Pumice mixed abrasive and my superfine, and I just mixed them together in the same canister. Also, once you make your paste and say, oh, I want to add something else to it, or it's just not, it doesn't have enough abrasion for me, or whatever, however you feel, you can always just, like I showed you how to originally make it, put it in a double broiler again, put it all inside the bowl, warm it up, mix whatever you want to, or add whatever you want to it, cool it, you know, keep it mixed up, cool it down, bam, boom. There you go. It's easy. There's no waste. You don't have to toss a batch. Make sure you write it down though. So if that is your unicorn mix, make sure you actually write down the ingredients of your unicorn mix. Don't be like me. Be smarter than me. So that's it. That abrasive paste is very easy to make. Simple ingredients, very easy to get. If I include everything that I bought with all the different abrasives, then maybe $60, $70 worth of stuff that could last me till my grandkids, maybe their kids. I don't know. Anyways, if any of y'all have a certain ratio of mixtures you find useful, or that you like the best, that works for you, put in the comments below what it is that you mainly use it on, and say your ratios or measurements of these 3 ingredients, or what it is that you like to use, because I'm sure people enjoy reading through the comments and seeing how others have made their abrasive paste because they might want to try it. That's that. I hope you found this useful, informative. Like I said, I'll put all the links to all the products that I use in the description below. I just try to pack as much information for you, make it a lot easier for you every time I post. So, hope you found it informative. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and God bless.